should pursue him. I think it's more fate that I was supposed to be on Love Island season 8 and he was supposed to be on in UK and he was supposed to be on Love Island season 3 and we met up. I think that's more fate-like, but that's another story. I'm no storyteller.
Yeah, I agree. That's a bigger cup of tea.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who this be, it's your girl KylerB coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be talking about Love Island USA Season 4, Episode 38, or in this case, this is the Love Island USA Season 4 reunion. And we're going to talk about the reunion, but the real reunion, the real tea was on Zeta and Deb's live last night. Like, yesterday, we were just getting all the tea. We were just getting all the information. We were just getting all the drama. Like, this was the real reunion. Okay, so let's get into it because this is the first time the US season of Love Island even had a reunion to begin with, especially a televised one, actual, formal reunion, showcasing, what happened in the season. Season 1 attempted to have a reunion, but it was never televised. You would just had to watch it from a different location. But this is the first formal reunion that we actually have with a host, asking the Islanders questions, all that jazz. So let's get right into it. So the reunion, was basically a day after the finale. So the Islanders who were in the finale, Zeta and Timmy, Deb and Jesse, and Sydney Isaiah, they did not get the tea on what was happening in the outside world. They were in the villa. They were cooped up in there. They didn't know what was going on. So, Sarah Hyland was the host. She brought them out, the finalists, the OGs, brought them out, and welcomed them back into the other Islanders. And, we just get straight down to business, okay? I would like to say that Sarah Hyland, as a host, she did a pretty good job asking the questions. Like, it wasn't a boring reunion as so much. I would say they did clip out a lot of different things, though. And, yeah. So, we first get started on, Serenity and Tyler and Valerie, the first boots of the season. And, Serenity and Tyler seems to be having a little something outside the villa. Serenity really came through with this reunion, though, because she was getting Chazz. Like, she was getting Chazz. She got her fan out. She was like, hey, let me get, like, she was getting Chazz, for real. Like, she was just telling him, like, we don't play on the playground anymore.
How do you feel about the way Chazz behaved?
Coming to Love Island, I really had the ideal, dream of finding love here. Like, I didn't come here to raise nobody.
Do you think that you got played?
I mean, I made 3 requests before the recoupling. It was simply just, don't embarrass me, don't blindside me, and be kind. And when those weren't presented, he got a nice hefty handshake, so.
You were just basically talking about how Chazz's speech, like basically what I said when I did my review, was that his speech was wrong. It was like, who was you talking to? Because that speech was directly for Serenity, but then you choose Kat. So it's just like, and she specifically asked Chazz not to embarrass her, not to make her a fool. And, he basically did that with his speech. That's why at the end, she just gave him a handshake and, wished him best of luck. So that's why, people were upset, if you're going to do whatever you're going to do, don't disrespect her, and that speech solidified that. And that's why people were upset. So she really, put him in his place because Chazz was definitely the player of the season because he went from Serenity to Kat to Gabby to Bella. I think even Phoebe was trying to get in there too. So yeah, he was really the true player. Not even a player, but true move around. He moved around that villa. So yeah. So, like, even Gabby came out, Sarah Hyland brought Gabby back, and that was just like, okay, if we really knew who Gabby was, instead of her being a Casamore girl, that would have been a big thing. But she basically spoke on her piece how, Chazz basically sold her some dreams, told her that he was going to bring her back to the villa, and he never did. He had a hideaway of Gabby, and he did all that. Then the next day, he moved to Bella, and then brought Bella back from Castlemore. So that was a little, and then that was a whole, segment. And, at the end of the day, Chazz had to apologize to Gabby, but Gabby was just not feeling it at all. She just felt like, because he was just being a little, messy. He was just like, oh, that's why I didn't bring you back to the villa, da 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 da. Like, he had words to say for Gabby, and it was just like, you really played in her face.
How did you feel about being, quote unquote, left behind in the dust?
Oh, it sucked. But you know what? He did me a favor, because I think I deserve better than that.
Talk about it.
Chazz, do you think you led Gabby on? Because it kind of sounds like it.
Like, you said that to me.
I definitely did say that to you, but that was prior to me having that conversation with Bella and getting to know somebody that I wanted to get to know in Casa more.
I don't even know how that's even possible. Like, I felt like that was all bullshit. And, like, I can't really believe anything you say at this point.
I mean, you don't have to. That's why I ain't bring you back.
Oh.
Like, you said all these things to her, and then the next day you moved to a different girl and said that, and then bring Bella back to the villa, leaving Gabby in the dust. So that was just very, very messy. Chazz, he got put in his place during this reunion, for sure. So next thing we know, we get to Bria, the sibling duo that they had this season. And I just want to say they made Bria some type of victim, which they didn't even put the proper, scenes, at all. They made Bria seem like a victim. Bria's still continuing saying that, she didn't get a proper chance with Timmy, all that jazz. And that's not true. Timmy definitely gave her a chance. She was coupled up with Timmy for at least a week. She was with Timmy, coupled up with him at least a week. And, she definitely had, like, other Islanders can attest that she definitely had her chance with Timmy. So she brought that up, They had a whole trailer of the whole Bria, Zeta, Timmy situation. And, Timmy was trying to say that, he was basically, forced out of his couple, stuff like that. And, Zeta had to basically be like, nah, you were basically willing to get to know Bria. Like, you can't be playing that. You were willing to get to know Bria. So, because obviously he was talking to Chazz and saying like, oh, he would like to get to know Bria and all that stuff. So basically, after seeing the clip on the Jumbotron, Zeta had to call Timmy out.
I want to start by saying that I don't feel like I got a fair shot. Or that like Timmy gave me one. Even though he had like an interest in me, like that's where his heart was, and I wish that he just would have told me sooner instead of wasting my time.
Timmy?
I was put in a position where I was taken out of my couple with Zeta to be with Bria. That was out of my control. I do apologize if it came off as me leading you on, but that definitely was not my intent.
Zeta, I could see you shaking your head there.
I'm like, unwilling. You told her, bruv. Like, I want to get to know your sister. That was willing. Fully willing.
Yeah, what she said is true. I don't know if he was like dragged to be coupled with me kicking and screaming, per se. But yeah. Not telling me about the kiss, he could have made his decision then, but he chose to waste my time.
Timmy?
That kiss was not choreographed. It wasn't planned. I do understand, how that looks, but that was just me putting myself first and following my heart.
And the funny thing is, Timmy got caught in 4K. So, Bria's talking about how Timmy wasted her time and led her on. I don't think that was the case. I don't think he led her on because he said in her face multiple times that he still likes Zeta. He still wants, he still is interested in Zeta. Because he never not once said that. The only time he only said that was when she coupled up with Jeff. And when she coupled up with Jeff, that's when he was in his feelings and he said what he said. But the real tea, he been saying that he still was interested in getting to know Zeta. He said it multiple times in her face, like throughout the whole group while he was coupled up with her. So it's kind of like it wasn't really a blind side. Because even after he got coupled up in night 1, he was like, he needs to go talk to Zeta to let her know. Because even when it was when Bria was up on the couch and she was speaking, she was like, did she even take into account to Zeta's feelings? And she said, no, that's the name of the game. So now you complaining and saying that's the name of the game, but then you're talking about you didn't get a fair chance with Timmy. So if you didn't take into account to Zeta's feelings, because Zeta's relationship got cut short because your brother decided to put you with him, don't you think that's unfair to Zeta? Like, if you're trying to be like, oh, this is fair and this is not fair, you should also account to Zeta's feelings too. Because if you want Zeta and Timmy to account to your feelings, like, oh, you didn't get a fair shot with him, why are you saying now that you didn't take into account to Zeta's feelings? And that is exactly why when you were crying, when he said he's still interested in Zeta, that none of the girls were like, oh, dear. No, it had to be your brother to come console you, because you didn't have no, sympathy for Zeta when she almost got sent home because your brother decided to pair you with Timmy. And you were like, oh, every islander needs to get their shot and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Zeta over here feeling bad because, Tyler got sent home and she was basically almost about to get sent home because of this tomfoolery of the duo siblings or whatever. So I'm just like, you didn't take into account to Zeta's feelings, but then now you're boohoo crying because, Timmy was like, I'm so interested in Zeta. And now you're still complaining and talking about you didn't get a fair shot. He played in your face. The only thing that he didn't say was that the kiss that Timmy and, Zeta had, he probably should have told Bria about it. But that's the only time that they really played in her face, because it was so funny. Because he just had a conversation with Bria. And after that conversation, that's when the kiss between Zeta and Timmy happened, and he basically just said right there and then, he's still interested in Zeta, basically said those other girls are not to you. And yeah, so I believe he should have just been like, nah. And I think that's what he was hoping for when the recoupling, when Zeta picked Jeff. He expected that Zeta to pick him, but after that kiss, Timmy wanted to be still moving funny, so he got put in his place when Zeta picked Jeff. But yeah, that was that segment. They had the little Bria segment, so obviously Timmy got put in 4K, so yeah, he got put on blast with that little segment and stuff like that. But there was definitely clips out. They definitely made her the victim also, because they were trying to say how like Zeta was unwelcoming to Bria. But that's not true. That wasn't the case. She was welcoming to Bria when she got there, but it's been multiple times said by multiple people that she was very standoffish. She was basically just with her brother the majority of the time. So now they just put that on the Jumbotron, talking about how like, oh, Zeta wasn't going to like really give energy to Bria because that Bria was going to take Timmy. But moving on, let's get back to Chazz and the Serenity thing. I just want to say, when Timmy tried to interject himself into this situation, I think he should have just leave it be. Like, he was trying to be big bro, to come, speak for little bro. But like, bro, no. Like, what are you doing? Like, it was between, obviously, you were trying to speak on his behalf, but, obviously that man was moving messy in that villa. Like, you got to be real, okay? I understand you were just like, that's little bro, let me go speak up for him. But no, don't do that. Like, let it be. Let it be. So then Zeta had to be like, nah, you were moving very messy in the villa. And she definitely stuck up for Serenity in that situation. So let's move on to the other segments. There was Kat and Jared basically showing that how their relationship, progressed outside of the villa. Deb and Jesse, where they are now. Well, obviously they're the finalists, so they talk about Deb and Jesse's and their highs and lows in the villa. Basically, Sydney, she saw the full Phoebe thing all on the Jumbotron. She basically saw how it played out, and she definitely felt, sad seeing it, but I think it was something she had to see the whole situation play out. Because that basically showed in full what happened between, the Isaiah Phoebe thing and stuff like that. So they brought them to the stage and they talked about it. Also, let's also continue. Courtney is with Bryce now, so they're on the outside doing whatever they're doing. And they also talked about the Jeff and Naja situation. Wow, Jeff, did not make it to the reunion. They talked about the situation. And, Naja's still saying that, she's still interested in Jeff. So, let's see what that goes. And then, last but not least, they brought up Zeta and Timmy, obviously the winners of Season 4, Love Island USA. And, they show their journey from the start to the finish. Obviously, some pieces are cut out, show the true journey. Because they didn't even involve Jeff. Even they just focus on the Bria of it all, even though Jeff, they made Jeff the non-factor, even though Jeff was also a factor in the situation. They made it seem like Bria was the only factor that they were relying on in this, when it really wasn't. Jeff was also a factor. Zeta was truly considering Jeff. It really had him out of that whole situation. Even though Zeta coupled up with Jeff and everything, he was a non-factor in the whole situation, which is just okay, I guess because he wasn't there, but they definitely showed the whole Jeff Naja situation, so they could have easily had his clips, the Jeff and Zeta scenes in there too. So, but that was the reunion. Like I said, the real reunion was was not on TV, was not on screen. Yesterday, Zeta, got the tea on what Bria was saying while she was inside the villa, and while, Bria was outside of the villa. And, Zeta basically was just she had a whole, release of tweets, basically, calling Bria out. And she did not hold nothing back. She did not hold nothing back. Zeta was just I got Timmy and you don't. She basically said, excuse me, better to keep who? Cheaper to keep who? Who? She basically was just oh, so you got all these things to say while I'm inside the villa and you're outside the villa, but then you want to be smiling in my face. You want to be smiling in my face like we're cool. You had all this congratulations to me, but then you talking all that stuff. So Zeta had to call her out, and she did not hold back. She did not be I have things to say about this person. No, she basically said with her chest who she was speaking about. She said it multiple times, and it was so funny because on the live with Deb, Deb was even what are you talking about?
No, even post reunion.
Yeah.
We didn't know anything,
and so seeing people talking shit now. We're
you guys know I'll be chatting that shit, but I'm gonna keep it because everyone wants me to stay on my throne, and I'm trying my best.
She's doing,
I'm trying my absolute best to not rip someone in a fucking new one because I have Timmy and they don't. So, whatever.
I think Bria got a fair chance by Timmy.
I let you couple up with the boy. You said you wish that people seen your conversations and that it was aired. Because you time. So I let you recouple with him so you could be in the bed with him so he could put it to rest. And still, you didn't get chosen, but still.
Yeah. She got
more than a fair chance.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jada Oriel.
Yeah.
I don't know what else the bird wants me to say. Timmy will be upset if I say that. He'll be upset.
She got a fair chance.
She got a fair shot.
That's what Love Island is.
She was belly laughing at brunch, but someone else in the conversation was extremely...
I was sitting next to them and I did not hear one laugh. Just saying.
So, whatever, babes. You want the boy so bad.
Yeah.
If he wanted to, he would.
Exactly.
Zeta is like one of the realest that I've seen in a while, because a lot of these other islanders, they see people talking about them and saying whatever, and they be like, I'm not gonna say anything, and then next thing you know, they link up, and they're all buddy, but they secretly don't like each other, which is just like, I understand you want to be fake nasty, to have, the public, have this type of aesthetic. But you got to be real with yourself. If you know that person don't like you and you don't like that person, then you don't mess with that person. You know what I'm saying? But so Zeta's the real one who actually really called that person out, did not hold nothing back. She said, and she was, she had to simmer down because, obviously she has a lot to release if she really want to get into it. But, she said she promised Timmy that she wasn't going to kick off. But, she really was just letting it go. She was letting it sing. She let us sing, like, on Bria. And that was the real tea. Like, all through the night, we were getting the tea. We were just sipping it. We were just like, oh, my gosh, we're getting fed. And it's so funny because, Bria and, I guess, Val as well says that, the OG girls weren't welcoming. And I'm just like, Zeta was the main girl helping each and every girl out in that villa, always welcoming them. Deb, she's the one trying to do different things in that villa for everybody to, get along and stuff like that. So it's just like, they were really letting the chopper sing. So, I mean, for a reunion, it was definitely better than the UK's reunion. The UK's reunion did not give. It did not. They also said they had a Andy and Maddie segment, but they definitely did not show that Maddie and Andy segment at all. So, yeah, we'll see that later. Well, we heard about it, but we did not see that. But as for Love Island USA Season 4, I think this definitely ranked up the charts to be like probably top 2 best season. It probably would be number 1, definitely, because Season 2 didn't even have a reunion. It did not. Season 2 would be the peak of Love Island, but Season 4 actually came for it, okay? Came for that spot. So, but yeah, this is the little review of Love Island 2022 Season 4. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you like the video, comment down below, your thoughts, comments, concerns, and you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Peace.